Good morning everyone. This is the second video of preterm labor. In this we are going to talk about diagnosis of preterm labor and the management of preterm labor. When a patient comes with the signs and symptoms which are suspected of preterm labor, we have to do a detailed history, clinical examination, speculum examination to find whether she is having a cervical dilatation. Along with this, if she comes in a gestational age of less than 30 weeks, that is less than 29 plus 6 weeks of gestation, with the signs and symptoms of preterm labor, we have to start the management immediately. If she is 30 weeks plus and she comes with a suspected preterm labor, then we have to do a transvaginal ultrasound to see the cervical length. If the cervical length is less than 15 millimeters, she is a diagnosed case of preterm labor and we have to start the management. But if the cervical length is more than or equal to 15 millimeters, then we should reassure her that there is no preterm labor and we have to find out other causes for her pain and counsel her accordingly, and we can keep her under observation or we can discharge her. If the transvaginal scan is not available, then we have to do a fibronectin test, that is a fetal fibronectin test. This is done by a sample from the posterior vaginal fornix, and this is done by ELISA. It helps to predict the preterm labor in the next 48 hours. There are certain contraindications for doing the fetal fibronectin test, like it is not useful before 22 weeks and after 34 weeks. If there is preterm pre-labor rupture of membranes, if she is in active labor, if there is a vaginal bleeding or vaginal lubricant has been used, or sexual intercourse has happened in the last 24 hours. So if the fetal fibronectin levels are more than 50 nanograms per ml, then it is a diagnostic of preterm labor and we have to start the management. If the fetal fibronectin is less than 50, there is no preterm labor and we can discharge her home. After the diagnosis, we have to start the treatment. The treatment depends on the gestational age. The main line of treatment is the corticosteroids. They are given for various benefits, that is, they reduce the risk of respiratory distress in the newborn to the range of 44%, reduces intraventricular hemorrhage by 46%, and reduce the neonatal morbidity and mortality and necrotizing enterocolitis by 31%. There are two drugs, that is betamethasone and dexamethasone. Betamethasone is given in the dose of 12 milligrams, two doses 24 hours apart, and dexamethasone is given as 6 milligrams 6 hourly for 4 doses. So they are recommended between 24 to 33 plus 6 weeks of gestation, and they can be offered between 22 to 23 plus 6 weeks and 34 to 35 plus 6 weeks of gestation. The second is a tocolysis. The tocolysis is given to buy time for the steroids to act. Secondly, tocolysis is of benefit to arrange in utero transfer if it is needed. So before starting tocolysis, we have to confirm that the diagnosis is preterm labor. We have to talk to the women regarding the risks and benefits. We have to see whether the continuation of pregnancy is not harmful for either the mother or the baby, and then we have to offer. The first line of choice is nifedipine. This can be given in the dose of 20 milligram 3 times or 4 times a day. The side effect profile is it causes headache, palpitations, pedal edema, but it is cheaper, easily available drug and orally administered. If it is not useful, then atosiban, that is oxytocin receptor antagonist, is the drug of choice. The third is a magnesium sulfate. This is given when there is established preterm labor and the delivery is imminent or planned in the next 24 hours. And the cervix is more than 3 centimeters dilated. The magnesium sulfate helps in the neuroprotection. It helps to reduce the risk of cerebral palsy. It helps to improve the motor function. of the baby. The dose is given intravenous infusion 5 grams slowly intravenously for 15 minutes, and then 1 gram intravenously per hour for 24 hours, whichever is sooner. It has to be given like that, and we have to monitor her respiratory rate, urine output, and deep tendon reflexes. So this is about the management of preterm labor. So if you like the content of this channel, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you.